It's your boy Chips, and welcome back guys to another episode on CosmicPvP on the Goodness Planet. And today guys, we are going to look at the differences between swords and axes and which ones are better for PvP and why that may be. So guys, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so Craft of Battle, the winner of our giveaway, just came on to receive his Daisy rank. So GG bro, and congratulations on your free rank. There you are. Alrighty boys, so when it comes down to comparing swords versus axes, there are so many different factors and different pros and cons to each of them. So let's start off with something that's extremely important guys, and that is one of the biggest factors when it comes to deciding whether you want to PvP with a sword or an axe, and it's MCMMO guys. So if we do slash axes here, axes maxes out at I believe 1250 levels. So if we look into the perks guys, you got Skull Splitter, which deals area damage, which is super OP. It keeps everybody in combat around you. Like let's say you're fighting somebody and then somebody over here, they can't stack up their rage because you're hitting this guy and you use Skull Splitter, so they're getting hit as well. You've also got a Critical Strike, which is a chance to do double damage, obviously super useful. Then Axe Mastery, again more damage. Armor Impact, which is huge guys. It strikes with enough force to shatter armor. Pretty much what that means guys is that you will do more durability damage to your enemy, and you'll break their gear a lot quicker. And then Greater Impact, more damage to unarmed foes. And then guys, if we do slash swords, we can see the other side of this. So I believe this maxes out at 1000 levels. It might be 1250 though, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's 1000. So the perks behind Swords MCMO is counterattack. When you shield, you can reflect 50% of the damage taken, which is absolutely insane. You just block, so like if you're getting killed in a derp, you can just block your sword like this, and you will deal back to them 50% of the damage they are dealing to you. Serrated Strikes ability, which is 25% damage area. Bleed, which is also area guys. This is absolutely insane. Bleed is actually super useful when it comes to PvP. If you hit somebody with bleed, it's harder for them to get away because they're getting ticked every couple seconds, they're staying in combat longer, and on top of that, sometimes when they try and jump, they'll mess up their jump because the bleed will tick and hit them down, and you can catch up to them a lot easier. And bleed gives 5 ticks, so it's literally another 10 seconds of them being in combat at least. Alrighty guys, so that is MCMMO. As you can see, swords has the bleed and axes has the Skull Splitter, both super OP. But this doesn't really tell you which one is better because they're both good as of right now. So now let's go into the levels of Cosmic as you would get them as the season progresses. So beginning of the season, middle of the season, and end of the season. And this is what we've got right here. So first you got your just basic kit weapons. Right here, if you only have, kit sword and kit axe, you're fighting against, kit gear, so this would probably be at the vanilla or trainee outpost. I would definitely recommend the axe again, just because of the extra durability damage it does. Well, actually, there is no MCMMO at the vanilla outpost, so at the trainee outpost, I would recommend the axe. At the vanilla outpost, it doesn't really matter. Probably the sword, because it does do a little bit more damage. As you can see, the sword does 13.25 attack damage, and the axe only does 12.25, which is just, basic Minecraft. And then, guys, you move on, you get, G-Kit and then V-Kit, guys, so, Demi kind of stuff. And when it comes to this, guys, as long as both weapons are a very high level, you definitely want the axe over a sword. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this that I will get into in a second here. And then, guys, finally, God weapons. You can see, literally, guys, God Sword and God Axe. The God Axe is the same as the V-Kit Axe, guys. It's pretty much the same thing. Once you get a high-level V-Kit Axe, it is practically a God Axe. Now let's get into the enchants, guys. The enchants, the difference of enchants, and the strengths of swords when it comes to custom enchants versus the strength of axes when it comes to custom enchants. So for swords, guys, super important. Lifesteal, silence, and then along with the silence, guys, solitude. So pretty much, guys, as you may know, you can't really get those on axes unless you get a high V-Kit or the Trixery axe. And these are essentials when you are, trying to get god weapons and do a lot of damage. You really need the Lifesteal 5 and the Silence 4, and it is very hard to get that with the axes, guys. But once you do have that on an axe, it pretty much gives that axe a huge upper advantage over, a sword. And then a couple more key enchants that we have to look at here are Deep Wounds for the sword, because Deep Wounds, guys, people trying to bless, which is another huge enchant for the axe. Bless, people are trying to bless on you, get rid of their slowness from their drunk. And the Deep Wounds, if you have a sword, doesn't let them do that, so they would have to use a bless machine instead of PvPing and being able to bless. And also anybody using a sword would also have to use a bless machine, which can be annoying every little bit, because you do have to fix it quite often in PvP. So might not always be able to get out and get rid of your debuffs. Also, guys, when it comes to enchants, it's not only the enchants on the weapons that help out to make which one does better, but the enchants on your gear as well. So if you're using a sword, you're gonna need something like Bloodlust 6 to be able to get its full potential. And both weapons also have certain enchants that you can use, like this axe has Barbarian, which multiplies damage against people using an axe. So like, you want to use an axe against people using an axe, but they might also have Barbarian. Then there's also, enchants like Insanity that do the same thing, but more damage towards people using a sword. And then one last enchant, guys, for the sword is, Trap / Ice Aspect. Ice Aspect's a lot better, but guys, when it comes to glitch swords, the Ice Aspect literally just dominates in PvP. It's not only that it freezes them, but it lets you get tons of combos on them and stack up your rage because they can't move, so they can't get out, they can't strafe, they really can't do much of anything when they are ice aspected. So pretty much, guys, at this point, axes and swords, they both have their ups and their downs, but this is where the biggest difference comes in, and it is when it comes to soul enchants, guys. So for your axe, you could have Soul Trap, which is I guess it's a decent enchant. They actually both take up the same amount of souls, but Soul Trap negates the other people's soul enchants, and Divine destroys other people. So Divine 4, a lot harder to get, probably one of the hardest enchants in the game to get, at least before they release all these brand new enchants from the dungeon. And with this, guys, you can literally like one-shot people in God, two-shot people in God. It is absolutely crazy. And that, guys, Divine 4 is what separates the sword from the axe, in my opinion, at least. That's why I think you have, swords are a lot better, especially probably only when you have Divine 4, swords are a lot better, or glitch. I don't know. It kind of depends. If you have a glitch, I think, you should PvP with both a sword and an axe, but if you've got a Divine 4, you kind of need the axe to bless, but other than that, you should probably just be using your sword, like, when it comes to doing damage. On the contrary, though, swords do tons and tons of damage. You can still, like, three-shot people in God. It just doesn't have that extra soul enchant to get itself to the top. And then finally, guys, the last point I am going to make is that God swords are a lot harder to get than God axes, guys. God axes are pretty much just V-Kit, high-level V-Kit axes, but high-level, V-Kit swords are kind of trash. They don't have those essential enchants like Poison, Ice Aspect, all of those things, Insomnia, Deep Wounds, and those are all very crucial enchants. Alrighty, guys, so I hope you guys did, enjoy and take something out of this little comparison between God swords and God axes, and let's go finish off today's episode. Alrighty, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you all did enjoy, and if you did, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Right before we finish it off, though, we've literally been, AFKing this thing forever and not been selling it. So it's literally full to the top, guys. 100% full. Like, there's stuff on here that, like a couple minutes ago wasn't going in here until I emptied, like, a little bit out from the top ones just randomly. So, guys, I got to get to selling this thing, and I'll put a little time-lapse in here. And I hope you guys enjoy. But other than that, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.